Tonight we're going to talk about Charlie Chaplin's first full-length feature with United Artists, A Woman of Paris. Let's do it. So, as I said, we have A Woman of Paris, a Charlie Chaplin film put out by Criterion on March 18th. This was released. So this is a newer release. They released this on the new 4K Blu-ray, 4K digital restoration on Blu-ray, and I do believe they offer it on DVD as well. But I hadn't seen this movie in its entirety, I don't think. But I felt pretty safe being that Charlie Chaplin was involved. I knew I would find some enjoyment out of it, no doubt about it. I hadn't heard a lot about this movie, to be honest with you. But also with Criterion, I do have The Great Dictator, City Life, and another couple by Criterion, and they've always done a really great job with the releases. This one is a little different, though. This is the first full-length feature that he directed for United Artists, a film company and studio which he helped start in 1922. It was his second full-length feature. I think The Kid was the first one for another company, but this was the first movie that he directed, the new United Artists studio, and this one came out in 1923. And like I said, it is a 4K digital restore of the 1976 re-release. There is the original mono score, and then another score that you could play. It was composed, an alternate score from '05, created by and conducted by Timothy Brock, based on music by Charlie Chaplin. That one I haven't checked out yet, but I watched it with the original score and a lot of the extras. The extras are great as usual. The making of this movie, the photo shoot or video shoot or world announcement of United Artists. There's a lot about that in here, and tons of stuff. An essay, excerpts from an audio interview. It's loaded. It's loaded with great extras, and so this is different for Criterion. Slightly, they're doing things a little bit different now with some of their releases, and also it was different for Charlie Chaplin. He did not star in this movie. He handed out cards at the premieres in Los Angeles and in New York, explaining that he hopes that the audience will accept this movie because it's a serious movie. I mean, there are basically based around food, little humorous parts, but for the most part, it's a serious movie, which was a departure from things that he had normally done. So he handed out sort of like apology letters, and hopefully people, going into the theater will accept it. And I don't think they were real thrilled. I mean, if you're going to see a Charlie Chaplin movie and then, he ditched that persona for this. In fact, he wasn't even in this. He claimed in the note. He did make a tiny cameo in it as a luggage handler at a train track. But so completely different style for Charlie Chaplin, and I thought it was awesome and enjoyable, to be honest with you. It was neat. We'll take a look, and this is what I mean by what they're doing different a little bit. Criterion now. I'll show you that. It's awesome artwork, awesome new artwork. But this is what's different. Normally, the essays, they'll come with like a book, But so for this release, and then another one that I'm going to do this week, a Godzilla movie. they did this with the essays. So, um, on one hand, I really like that poster. I think it's great. Normally, it would be uh, this essay would be in, a whatever page book. So, but you can see that the essay, all the restoration notes, um, acknowledgments, and then this, yeah, again, the whole essay, the cast credits, it's all on here about the master, um, in the 4K, which is pretty much, I think it says the same thing on the back too. Presented in aspect ratio of 1:3:3. So you're going to have bars at either side. The new 4K restoration of the 1976 re-release version of the film Undertaking. And then part of a Charlie project was created from the 35 millimeter full frame duplicate negative, and the original mono soundtrack. So yeah, so and then it's got, again, cool essay in the book. I like, again, I do like the poster, but then if you were to say take one of these releases like the Godzilla one I'm going to show in the next video, you would cover up all that essay stuff. So I don't want to be greedy and say I want both, like the book and this post. But yeah, kind of. But I do like the poster. I mean, it's cool. If this was one I would hang and frame up, this probably won't be one that I do. Although I like it, I think it's cool. But so that's kind of different. So I've seen other people that have got recent releases, and they did this. I can't remember the other film, but I do know the Godzilla one I got that I'm going to do in the next video comes with a poster like that too. Cool poster. But again, all the essay stuff. But I guess if you read it, committed it to memory, you could frame it or do whatever you want. But anyway, so this is a different movie. It's about um, uh, the the star. She's obviously, I mean, it's in the title. A woman goes to Paris, but she dreams of this life, and um, um, she Edna Purviance plays Maria St. Clair. She's kind of a kept woman in Paris, and she wants to live a rich, luxurious lifestyle, jazz aged whirl, champagne soirees. That's what I'm reading, some of that from back here. And she gets that, and she kind of leaves her old life behind, but then again, um, misses the old life. The old life comes looking in the form of her boyfriend back in the small town, and so she gets what she wanted, but then she really, uh, can't wait to get back um, to where she came from. It's one of those kind of tales, and so again, it's a silent film, right? So what's cool is he uses, as a director in his film, without the comedy to rely on, and he's telling a serious story. He uses a lot of symbolism, and a lot of props to help along with what you would normally probably say with dialogue. Obviously, you're only looking at their expressions and then reading it uh, in small increments. But he uses different props and to sort of help tell the story, which is incredible. Um, there's two sort of who would be the villains, two guys that would be the villains in this movie. He first showed both of them in different scenes. Their shadows, sort of like a Nosferatu type thing. He showed the shadows first to kind of give that, sort of create that illusion of the villain, and he did that, a lot of symbolism throughout. And they had to get creative because the budget wasn't enormous. They were filming it in Hollywood, not in Paris. There's a scene that Charlie makes the cameo in, where she's standing in a train station in Paris, Well, they didn't go to Paris; they were doing it at the film set. So they show in one of the extras how they created that. She's standing there, and they had a light directed at her, um, and the camera, and uh, in front of the light behind the camera, they had cut out train windows off a cardboard, this big cardboard box that they walked by. So you see her standing in what looks like a train station. It's a set, but then they added a little wind, and then this what looks like the silhouette of a train windows going by. So he did a lot of creative stuff like that. Like that was a really cool touch, and it was kind of loaded with little things like that. And so it was neat to see him not rely on that character that we all know, and to tell a story, and then with his new company, and have to get creative. Um, so really great. The sets look really great. In the beginning, when they're sort of in a small town, I really do want to mention that set is really just beautiful, shot obviously in black and white. Just looks great. Looks like a really fitting European town. And so I thought they got really creative. They told a good story. It wasn't a happy ending. I won't tell you the ending, but I don't think it was happy. I mean, it could be your interpretation, but it didn't seem, wasn't overly happy. We'll say satisfied, maybe. But so it was a really awesome release. I'm glad that I added this to the collection. Um, Again, this is out on Criterion now. Came out last month, and give it a shot. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But the restoration, it really looks great. It isn't even, it's not distracting at all. I mean, it it does, like I said, have the bars on the side, but after you're getting into the movie, you forget that you're watching an old silent movie. At least I did. And I guess if you're in the mood for a silent movie, this is a really good one. So give it a shot. A Woman in Paris, uh, second full length by Charlie Chaplin, first with United Artists, and not starring Charlie Chaplin. So yeah, there you have it. Give it a shot. All right. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you haven't, welcome in. Thanks. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing or hitting the thumbs up or leaving a comment or telling me what Charlie Chaplin movies that you do own, or Criterion movies, or what sort of movies you enjoy. But most of all, yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And we will see you next time on Severely Cinematic.